what's the next level for leadership? And what's the next level for Sime? And I think what we've learned this year, if there's a trend to bring with you, it's to choose to care. David Roberts spoke about that. Every leader we've had here has spoken about a larger context, a larger purpose than just selling something or meeting next quarterly result. And I think that's something that we could bring with us home to our organizations. If you look at psychology and what's happening there, there is a very interesting Harvard professor called Keegan. He's very trendy to read as well. And what Keegan teaches us about human development is that we kind of start like this. And this is, of course, not my baby. She does not scream like this. But then everything is emotional and instinct-driven, right? It's cold, you scream. You're hungry, you scream. You're happy, you smile. Then when you're around 5, says Keegan, you start developing me, and then it's me first. If you can eat the cake, you will eat the cake. You don't care very much about other people. It's you, 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 you. And that's fine when you're 5 years old. Then you become 13, 14, 15, 16. And all of a sudden, it's not about you anymore. It's about everybody else. Am I in the right club? Am I in the right football team? Are my shoes nice? It's everything about everyone else. Teenagers, they are tentacles for other people, norms, groups, and so forth. And then, at 40, you realize that you worked hard all your life and you bought a Ferrari. And no, you got to sell that. It's not about material things. You got to self-develop and you go back to martial arts and you do all kinds of things. And then you keep on getting older. And if you're smart enough, at 60, you realize, what the hell am I been thinking? It's not about me. It's about, we're all one. We are one contained system, one planet, what David Roberts told us. We can impact things. We can do wonderful things if we put our mind to it. The moonshots. This is Anita Roddick that founded Body Shop. She created a fantastically successful business. And it was ethical, it was environmentally friendly, and she made that an opportunity. What Bill and Melinda Gates are doing is transforming the planet. So how can we create more leadership like that? And where's the starting point? Where are the leaders today? What Keegan says, most of the corporate leaders in the world are here. They're stuck in the 15-year-old, 13-year-old phase, where it's very important with what everybody else thinks here and now and next quarter and in the next article and if I get a promotion. That's unfortunately us. We're thinking too much like this about everything else around us right now. And I think that if we are to create this fantastic planet that David Roberts and others spoke about, I think we need to move up the ladder and have a different type of leadership and inspire different types of behaviors in our organizations. Because if we don't, our customers will notice that and they will vote with their money. Because every time they buy something, they cast a vote for the society they would want to have. So this is not about do-goody. This is about strategy as well as improving the planet. And somebody said that gentlemen like this, and there's nothing personal, Donald, their generation was about exploiting the planet to make money. And then comes a next generation wanting to improve the planet. Google is improving a lot of things. Wikipedia is improving a lot of things. Now I think there is a call for action for companies really wanting to save the planet. And that starts with you. What do you do? What do your organizations do that really matters? And if I ask you that question, we have to ask ourselves that question. What can Sime do? Well, first of all, we do Sime Social Impact. That was our first idea. And it came from actually me being working in Spain with an organization, you know, as a pro bono thing. And I realized that in one day I could teach them more about online marketing and that impacted tens of thousands of people's lives just because now they had more money to give people and less to marketing. And since then, we've been working a lot, and we want to work a lot more, as you just heard. The second thing we do is Sime Next Generation, 4th of May, where we want you to be, and where we want to be a force for good, because we believe that if you don't fill the funnel with more people interested in technology, more women interested in technology, more things happening here on an entrepreneurial level, what comes out of the funnel will not be as exciting. So we really need to work early on. And we're, as I said before, extremely happy and proud to be part of an initiative where MTG with Rickard Staber and Kristina Stenbeck, together with Spotify, Samsung, and you see a lot of other companies, have invited women in tech. So very welcome. A lot of you have already arrived. Very, very welcome for the continuation of the conversation, starting 4 o'clock, focusing on female leadership in technology and entrepreneurship. And anybody that would like to stay, we're going to be here in the main hall, are very welcome to stay and participate in that conversation, regardless of your gender. Finishing off my thoughts from this time, I think I've learned a lot of things. And I think that there's a quote that I really like, which is done by our UN Vice Secretary. He says, you have to have passion and compassion. Without passion, nothing happens. Without compassion, the wrong things happen. And I think that's the future for leadership, whether you want to be successful yourself or your company. But then you also have to have a piece of rock and roll. And we address that as well. So we invite you all to Sime, Miami, the 1st and 2nd of December, which is going to be a spectacular event. It's going to be warm, it's going to be lovely, and we're also going to have the Art Basel experience. But that's not nearly rock and roll enough. So we said, what's the epicenter of rock and roll? And that's, of course, the next speaker. And I would like to give a warm rock and roll welcome to Dregen. Dregen, fantastic.
Hello.
You know, I did not think I would be on the same stage as Dregen anytime sort of soon, but it's fantastic that you guys are here.
It's the first time I'm on a stage with a...
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Yeah, round things.
We've been speaking about a lot about entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs are like rock stars. First of all, what's it like to be a rock star?
I don't know. It's kind of like CEO. But you know, to be serious, it's kind of. I mean, I love my job. I guess that that's a good start to make a success with something. But it's kind of like. It's tough work, a lot of responsibilities, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's hard work trashing hotel rooms and dealing with all the fans.
Well, now you're talking against yourself because that's kind of like the picture you had on who's the Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
That's the trashing hotel room. That's so 91.
And now
what happened was actually that's maybe some of you guys' fault in a way, because it came from being really fat TVs to the thin ones. So now when you throw out, it's kind of like throwing out a leaf or a paper. Yeah.
But on a more serious note, being an artist now, it's also about being a publisher. You use the web, you connect with fans in new ways. How is sort of the entrepreneur Dregen, or the sort of the social media Dregen?
It's kind of like, since rock and roll, it's also a little weird because we all us rock and rollers think that we are so rebellion, but why do we all dress the same? It's kind of like. So, rock music is kind of like, it's with one foot kind of conservative, actually, because it's within certain, you need to have like guitar, bass, drums, and all that. But I'm a bit like that myself, so well, maybe not that conservative, but, I have one foot in that old school kind of way of thinking. I still love records. I have a vinyl player that I play every day and stuff, but I also, with my other foot, I don't know, I'm already in 2021. Like, I love the future, so there's a lot of musicians today, they complain that, the music industry is, since we don't sell records anymore, like as we did, I just think it's fun, it's interesting, and the future, I mean, it's not that you people don't like music anymore. You know, people love music more than ever. But it's just, you know, how to kind of, you know, get it out there.
And we spoke about today and yesterday, we've spoken a lot about innovation comes from new types of partnerships, and that it needs to be passionate, entertaining, and it also needs to sort of grip the audience. And I was very curious to find out that, first of all, HiQ has 12 rock and roll bands in a Stockholm office that are real bands that are playing music all the time, and that Europe actually adopted one of the bands. So
I did.
The guys here, they have day jobs. They're great consultants with HiQ,
yes,
and running the show.
It's the first ever real rock and roll band with consultants only. Yeah.
But you're also getting them to do all your social media stuff and new websites and all kinds of experiences.
Yeah, it started with, you know, with a fun project that grew and grew, and then with my band Backyard Babies, we had a break for a few years. I made a solo album and started to work with HiQ as my digital partner. That went really well, and actually today we actually signed a deal with HiQ for Backyard Babies for 2015 and 16. So,
well, that's certainly worth a song. So, very welcome, HiQ. Yeah. Take it away, Dregen. The stage is yours.
Okay, this is yours then.
All right. Thanks.
I sure wanted to try to choose a lie. A warm-blooded heart is what got me by. That's why I see the light now. Yeah, I can see it right now. Coming down like a bullet thread. All the pressure is my pain. Everything that I want, anything that you need, everything that you see is what you get. Right here, these are not illusions for me. Anything that I want, anything that you need, everything that you see is what you get. Right here, these are not illusions for me. Losing all so bad. What have happened, everything that I want, anything that you need, everything that you see is what you get. Right here, these are the illusions of me.